What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to Crypto Empire, where we dominate the crypto market. My name is Connor, and welcome back to another Crypto Empire Sunday live stream. Hope you all had a great week. Not a lot has been happening in the crypto market. We are in a very slow state, slow moving, dull price action. But yeah, things are shaping up, and I do have a lot of analysis to share with you today on how I see this playing out. So anyways, hope you're all doing amazing. Smash up the like button. And let's get into this live stream and start out like we always do with our crypto market overview. Shout out to everyone here nice and early in the live chat. All the Crypto Empire diehards. I absolutely love to see you guys making a lot of noise here in the chat. Shout out to Kylo the dog. We got Fergotronics. What's up, Fergo? We got C Don't Care, Ghost, Fiat Hater, PG. What is going on? And Incognito. What's up, Incognito, Guts Motors, Armzilla, what is going on, everyone? As well as Matt1, All Day Dre, Bob's My Uncle, Recon Runner, NDD. What's going on, guys? Smash up that like button and let's get into this live stream. So I see some people talking about base meme coins, Dog and Me. Yes, Dog and Me did get listed on Coinbase. I do have that open actually right here. As you can see, on March 13th, Coinbase decided to add Dog and Me to their listing roadmap. And long story short, that did cause a bit of a pump, as you can see here. Checking out the Dog and Me meme coin. So like all meme coins, like all coins in general, it sold off extremely hard. As you can see, Dog and Me made its way all the way down here to a market cap of $10 million. And now it's at a $62 million market cap. So as soon as it got listed, essentially, or as soon as Coinbase tweeted out that they were going to list it, it actually happened on the 13th. So it looks like there was a bit of an insider buy on the 11th and the 12th, as you can see. And then on the 13th, it got listed here, this red candle, and then bang, all the way up here. It actually hit a high of 77 million market cap from a bottom of 10 million. So Base, or Coinbase, I should say, is deciding to listen to what the people want. And they're going to start listing, it appears, base meme coins. Dog and Me is the first one in a while, since Toshi, really. And as you guys know, if you watch the channel, many of you guys do, I make a lot of base videos covering base meme coins, totally my own opinion, and Dog and Me is one that I always talk about, and now it got listed. So I can't really say I'm too shocked or surprised, but great to see, and I think some other ones will get listed as well. And in regards to Coinbase, it's very ironic that they decided to suspend trading on Floki, Turbo, as well as Giga. In New York only, though. But yeah, so now they're going to suspend coins that, you know, volume is drying up and they just look absolutely horrendous. So, I mean, you got to take everything with a grain of salt, right? Coinbase decided to list all these random meme coins that popped up out of nowhere. They turned out to be total insider cabal plays. Peanut the Squirrel, for example, one of them. So now they're going to start delisting things and they're going to start listing base meme coins with really strong communities. So that's a very good sign, and we'll come back to this segment a little bit later on in today's live stream because I do want to cover the overall market in general, as that's the most important thing at the moment. So let's get into that. Somebody's saying Keyboard Cat. Yes, sir. Betbay too. Yeah, Betbay's in contention. Betbay, Keyboard Cat. These are some of the first meme coins on the chain. Toshi obviously was the first one, but Dog and Me, OG, Keyboard Cat OG, Betbay OG, right? These are all like the original meme coins on the chain, which is why these are the ones I talk about mostly. So anyways, we'll get back to the base meme coins in just one moment of time. It might be a couple of moments actually, because I got a lot to cover in the meantime. So let's go over this. Looking at the overall market, things are a bit interesting right now. Bitcoin trading at $82,370. Ethereum $1,883, XRP 230, Solana down at 126. Looking at crypto bubbles, top 100 on the day today. It's a sea of red. There are a few green ones out there, such as, what is this, Manta or Mantle, Helium, as well as Shiba Inu up 2.4%. Other than that, it is a sea of red. And many altcoins, let's get into the charts because I want to talk about altcoins as well as Bitcoin. So yeah, not really too much happening at the moment. Single digit down percentages, but nonetheless still a lot of red out there today. So remember, it is Sunday. We do have the weekly candle close in 1 hour and 25 minutes from this very second. All right, so very important weekly close, and let's go take a look at BTC at the current moment in time. So Bitcoin put in a low over here of $76,555. It did not hit the key level. Where is the key level? Where is the liquidity? The liquidity does lie still. It hasn't changed. Down here at $72K, $72,000, down to around 70,000. Now, I'm sure you guys have been browsing Twitter and looking at YouTube videos, and you've probably noticed that everyone is now shouting for $72,000. I mean, the level sticks out like a sore thumb. It is the previous all-time high right over here. So it's a pretty obvious level, but you know, if we break down the time frames, we can find the order blocks in there. That's where the liquidity is, okay? So it's a bit interesting because if we go look at the other major charts, for example, the total market cap, go back to the weekly, the total market cap hit my first level over here at 2.5 trillion. Hit, okay? If we look at the total two, it hit my level down here at 925 billion. It hit it exactly, actually. Now, this is important because this is the altcoin market cap. And what I'm showing you right now is how these major charts like the total two, they hit their key levels, but Bitcoin did not. All right. And this is a similar scenario to what we had, I believe it was over a month ago now at the start of February, when essentially we had that strong sell-off. Altcoins just shit the bed completely, but Bitcoin was still holding strong over here, like above 95K. And then what happened? Well, because Bitcoin didn't hit its key level at that time, it was over here 89,000. This one, I had the hunch that it was going to, at least touch 89, and ended up closing below 89, which then had opened the door down here for 72. So another kind of scenario where the altcoins, many individual altcoins have also hit their individual key levels, but Bitcoin hasn't. So what do I think is going to happen? Right, that's what you guys are all here for. What do I think is going to happen? I think Bitcoin has a really strong chance of still going for its key level down here at 72K. If we were to see 72K, being that altcoins have already hit their key levels, it is possible that altcoins don't actually sell off hard if Bitcoin goes down to 72,000. That scenario can very well happen, and honestly, I'm leaning towards that right now with the way that Bitcoin is shaping up. So the most important things to note right here on BTC, all right, demand, liquidity, right, optimal reversal level currently, it's down here at 72,000 bucks. Now to the upside, we do have a supply zone over here at 87,500. And it would be bullish if we went ahead and we reclaim this level. But that is not a previous swing high, in my opinion. In order to actually flip bullish, one of two things needs to happen on Bitcoin, in my opinion. Either we hit 72 or we reclaim our PS8s or our previous swing high over here at 95K. All right, that would mean a daily close above. If one of those two things don't happen, we're probably just going to, chop around and range for a bit. But if you do see one of the two things happen, where either we go down to 72 or we come up here and we reclaim 95, this previous swing high. This was created on the day that Trump announced that strategic altcoin reserve with XRP and Cardano that Sunday. This is the previous swing high up here, 95K. So unless one of these two things happen, right, there's no reason to flip bullish. The market hasn't confirmed it. The charts have not confirmed it. Sentiment and the news and whatever, it can say whatever it wants. But until the charts actually confirm something, it's irrelevant. All right, you can put up all the mental gymnastics and guesswork all you want, but again, charts above all. And one of these two things has to happen in order for us to actually flip bullish here on Bitcoin, in my opinion. Now, one other thing, there's many things to note actually, but I want to show you the 24-hour Bitcoin historical volatility index. Now, this is somewhat similar to the VIX for the S&P 500. But what this means, it doesn't give you an indication on the direction the market is going to go, but it essentially tells you that something big is coming, all right? And we know something big is coming when it hits the extremes, when it hits the premiums. or the major discounts. So in this case, we're at the extreme high of the range here on the 24-hour. Let's go to the daily time frame. Weekly is fine as well. But we're at the extreme end of the 24-hour Bitcoin historical volatility index to the upside. So what this essentially means, again, it doesn't give us indication on the direction the market wants to go, but it tells us, it kind of forecasts that a big move is coming, okay? When this hits either the highs up here or when it hits the lows down here. As you can see, we're obviously up near the highs, all right? Typically, when we're down towards the lows, that would indicate that a major volatile event is coming. You know, for example, recently over here on the 24th of February, we sold off to the lows over here and Bitcoin crashed hard, went down here at the lows. Now we're up here at the highs. Doesn't indicate direction, but it does tell us that something big is going to happen. Okay, so I would not be shocked at all to see that move to $72,000, and that would be bullish in my opinion to just get it over with, get $72,000 over with, so that we can kind of get going and go towards reclaiming 100K for BTC. So we just talked about a lot there in regards to Bitcoin. Let's see what else is going on though. Shout out to Glasshopper. He says, the best part of my Sunday. Thanks, Connor. You know it, my man. You know it. Let's talk about USDT dominance, stablecoin dominance. Very important for all altcoins, for Bitcoin, for everything. This is probably the most important major chart that exists. So, what do we got going on? Let's go to the weekly time frame again. We got the weekly candle closing in 1 hour and 18 minutes right now. So first thing to note, let me use my arrow so everyone can see things pretty clearly. The first thing to note is the fact we do have the previous swing high. It's marked out in this orange dotted line. Now this is at 5.51%, okay? Now, if we're going to close the weekly above this previous swing high, that would essentially confirm, in my opinion at least, that we're officially in a bear market. Okay, if we close above this previous swing high in the weekly time frame, yeah, we're cooked. But it's quite encouraging right now, being that the last 3 weeks, including this one, have all tested this previous swing high. But every time that the percentage of USDT dominance goes above this 5.51%, it comes back down, resulting in these big spikes up. And these weekly candle closes below 5.51%. So that is very encouraging, and this is bullish because this is an inverse correlation. Because when this chart goes down, the inverse correlation means the prices of Bitcoin and altcoins go up. When this goes up, crypto goes down. All right, so it is quite encouraging right now that we are continuing to close below this previous swing high level. It gives us a trinket of hope, you could say. Now, with that being said, there's a lot of zones here, okay? So there is actually still one zone higher that I do have my eyes on, and this is this level over here, and this is coming in at just over 6%. All right, this is really at 6.60%, and I've outlined it in a red supply zone fashion. And as you can see, I did put this ellipse here on the chart showing that it is possible we're going to go for a triple drive. All right. We may go for a triple drive. This is a scenario that can happen. Everything is based off of probabilities here in the market. But if we were to go for this triple drive, what does that mean for altcoins? Hopefully you guys set it in your head as you're watching along. If we're going to go for the triple drive, it's short-term very bearish for altcoins because when this chart spikes up, altcoins sell off really hard. Keep this in mind. Put your supply zone over here at 6.60 over here to like 6.1%. If you see USDT dominance spike up into here, that is a crazy good buying opportunity for altcoins. We've already had crazy good buying opportunities, right? Whenever this is spiked up, over here on Tuesday, it spiked up. That was the bottom for many altcoins, Dog and Me, KeyCat, just to name a few. But if this is going to spike up, you basically have another chance to buy extreme discounts again on altcoins. Okay. And again, we want to see it end up closing beneath the previous swing high. Okay. We don't want to see it closing like weekly candles above 5.51%, or we're pretty cooked, but that's not happening. So that is somewhat encouraging. All right. And then to the downside, the previous swing low is actually going to be at 4.56%. So if we end up closing the daily beneath this, that gives me some positive inclination that we can actually take out the lows at 3.8% later on this year, and then hit my cycle target, my macro target at this point, which is 3.3% for USDT dominance at this point. I can't tell you what you should do, but I will be selling everything that I have when we see stablecoin dominance over here at 3.3%. And if we want to know percentages from the current level, this is a drop of approximately 39% on stablecoin dominance. And this would be your altcoin season that everyone is hoping and dreaming of at this current moment in time. When you see this go down to 3.31%, 3.3%, that's it. And you sell when it's down there. I will, at least. You can do whatever you want. And if and when we do actually get down there, I want you to remember this exact moment of this live stream. Okay, remember what I'm saying, and then I want you to look at like your Twitter feed and see what everyone is saying. Probably everyone's just going to be crazy bullish, like always, right? So, despite what the herd consensus is, if you ever see stablecoin dominance at 3.3%, you should sell all of your coins in profit. Not financial advice, but hey, if you want to play correctly, that's what I would do, in my opinion, at least. All right, so we just talked about stablecoin dominance for quite a bit, actually. I know you guys come here to get into altcoins, but these major charts, right? These apply directly to every altcoin in the market, which is why I spend a considerable amount of time going over them. All right, if you have the majors, if you have an idea of what's going on in the majors, it's going to make the individual altcoins a whole lot easier to manage, because you have the general kind of plan in your head, and you just have to tailor the individual coins chart to that plan. All right, so anyways, we're going to carry on. Let's carry on. Shout out to Agent Shredbot. What's going on, my man? Now, let's look at Bitcoin dominance, because I am interested to see one confirmation that we're going to see altcoin season would obviously be Bitcoin dominance starting to drop. And it hasn't really started to drop too much in the past 3 years at this point. 2.5 years. It's been going up and to the right only. Now, we do have a level at 66% above the current high over here, this wick high. And there's also a level at 66%, sorry. So when this decides to drop, obviously that is going to be very bullish for alts. I am keeping close tabs on it. As you can see, the weekly candle this week is green, and as it stands currently, it's closing above this previous swing high wick. So this could be potentially a sign that it wants to go higher before it wants to go lower. This weekly candle close, this is going to be closing in 1 hour and 11 minutes. And it looks like it wants to close above its previous highest close and above the previous swing high. So potentially saying that it wants to spike up again before rolling over. Keep an eye on this weekly close. Again, 1 hour and 10 minutes. We'll find out on the exact close, but as it stands right now, potentially some kind of triple top forming, right? 1, 2, 3. If you pull up the RSI, there is very strong bearish divergence. So we have some signs that this thing is ready to like roll over on the higher time frames, but we've been saying that for, months, years at this point, and it just keeps going up. So at this point, we have to essentially wait for confirmation. And that would be a close, below the previous swing low at this point. Okay, so a close below 54.56% would be confirmation that Bitcoin dominance will go for my target and that's over here 46%. And again, if that lines up with stablecoin dominance at 3.3%, you know what to do. You take your profit and you get the heck out. But that is in due time. In the meantime, we essentially, right now, you basically, like, my mindset is you have to recharge your batteries for basically another market cycle, okay? Like the 4-year cycle thing, that's obviously like not too relevant anymore, being that we made a new all-time high like before the halving last year. And yeah, I mean, listen, like the whole 4-year cycle, now there's institutions involved. There's BlackRock and the ETFs. Like, it's just so different than anything we've ever seen. So yeah, prior models, prior molds don't necessarily fit to the current situation. So again, the mindset I'm having right now is basically preparing for like another market cycle, like another kangaroo market cycle where we go up for maybe like 3 months and then we crash horribly and totally reset the board. That's how it has been since January of 2023, and I'm simply expecting that to continue. Anyways, guys, let's see what's going on here in the live chat and see if we have any questions. Let's see what's going on. Recon Runner, are you still bullish on Alchemy Pay ACH? Yes, I am still bullish on this one. I think it will pump again. Obviously, when it's time for altcoins to go ahead and rally again. It is in a very interesting level right now at 2.2 cents. I am potentially watching for another revisit of down here at like 1.6. If I see it at 1.6, that's likely gonna mark the bottom. But yeah, Alchemy Pay, it's a total whale. Like, this chart screams whale manipulation, right? Like, extreme lows, pumps, sells off. Extreme lows, pumps a few X's, sells off. Extreme lows, pumps, sells off. Like, it's just on repeat. So yeah, a heavily whale orchestrated coin, and I think they will pump it again. And it's very similar to like XRP or XLM, like a payment solution coin. It fits into that narrative. That's a hot narrative. So yeah, a lot of good things lining up for it. And again, if we see it down here at 1.6 cents again, that's asking for a lot, but I think that would mark a bottom. Personally, like, if you're bullish on this and you've refined your list of altcoins that you want to hold going into this next market cycle, and ACH is one of them, I mean, I would be DCAing at 2.2 cents. You could end up being down, like 30%, but that's why you don't go hard in one buy, one lump sum buy. But yeah, still bullish on ACH. Let's see. Johnny M. He says, let's go, Connor. You the man. LFG. Appreciate you, Johnny. When is Bitcoin going to explode? Whew. When is Bitcoin going to explode? Well, like I said, I'm sure you were paying attention, Johnny. In order for me to flip bullish on Bitcoin right now, one of two things has to happen. Either we take the liquidity at 72 or we reclaim the previous swing high at 95. Let's see which one happens first. And whichever one does happen first, have your plan in place and be ready to act and execute. One thing going on right now that's interesting. Here's a tweet from this account. I'm not even going to say the name because they just farm engagement. Tweet about current events. But they said, breaking. Whale who shorted Bitcoin with 40x. So a whale shorted Bitcoin on 40x leverage today. I believe it's the same whale that was long over here on this Sunday when Trump announced the strategic reserve, and we saw Bitcoin pump from 83 to 95 in like an hour, and then that sold off. All right, so this was a heavily manipulated move, and obviously there's somebody with insider information trading off of these moves, and I believe this is the same whale that took this Bitcoin trade over here back on the 2nd of March. He longed it and sold it right at 95, right at the exact top before, it crashed and made new lows. So today he shorted Bitcoin on 40X. He just increased his position to $380 million, and that moved the liquidation price to $86,593. All right, so he's got a notional value of 380 mil. Obviously, he's on 40X, so his margin isn't that high. But nonetheless, he has a liquidation price at 86, and his entry's at 84. So he's obviously in a profit right now, being that the current market price is $82,000. And like I said, there is this level that I have. It's on the 23-hour if you wanted to know. All right, this 23-hour order block here. And that is right at 87,250. All right, so that's just above that whale's liquidation price. I'm really interested to see how this is going to go here. Again, I personally do think we'll go down to 72, which would prove that whale, correct for this short trade. It would make a few mil, obviously. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure there would be some kind of news event. Oh, like Trump announced another tariff, and then Bitcoin sells off to like 72. Like, it's always there beforehand. It's always in the charts beforehand. You get what I'm saying, right? Like, people, the normies, they'll blame the news. Oh, Trump did this and that caused Bitcoin to go lower. No, the liquidity was there, okay? And the market just hunts liquidity. It doesn't care what the news says, whatever, right? So, yeah, anyways. That whale's liquidation 86. We have a level at 87,250. We also have the previous swing high at 95. We'll see how resistance acts up. We haven't looked at Ethereum yet today. Let's look at Ethereum. All right, so ETH actually is another one that it didn't hit my level personally, but I mean, it came extremely close to it, and it did kind of hit this previous high, so maybe I could have refined my level a bit differently. But this is down here at 1715 to around 1650. And ETH wicked and it front ran it, okay? But nonetheless, it did actually go ahead and it put in a low of 1754. So a pretty discounted price. Now, here's the thing with ETH right now, guys. On the weekly time frame, on the daily time frame, on the monthly time frame, it closed below this bull market trend line. Okay, going all the way down to the bear market bottom. Again, I talk about this like every week on stream because it's extremely significant. Extremely significant. The fact that we closed below this on the weekly for like 4 weeks in a row, like, it's really hard for me to like be bullish on ETH. This thing's cooked personally. Like, Bitcoin, not as bad. This looks like many altcoins, right? A lot of altcoins just have, they can't hold any support. They just keep going down, right? 99% of altcoins, Ethereum included, is in that boat. So this is cooked. Now, what's this going to look like? How's it going to shape up? Well, at this point in time, it's very similar to Bitcoin in the sense where it either needs to reclaim the previous swing high, which is up here at 2550, or it needs to hit its key level lower. Okay, so there's this level at 1700, and there's also the lows at 1500. I mean, it would be extreme, but the bear market bottom is $1,000. Personally, I'm looking for 1700, more importantly 1500 right now, these lows. Now, how it may look like is we do have supply over here at 2300, right? If we pump up here into supply and we reject, you have to be prepared for seeing like $1,500 and maybe possibly below on Ethereum. It just does not look good no matter how you look at it, right? The fact that this one extremely significant trend line was lost, there's many other ways you can interpret this, right? Not even using the trend line, but no matter how you try and spin it, it's a very bearish chart, right? It just doesn't look great. So it would take a miracle, would take a miracle to see, you know, the previous swing high reclaimed and then this trend line reclaimed. And often in markets, when it comes to financial markets with a lot of money on the line, you should never be hoping or praying for a miracle. So the fact that I'm saying right now that it would take a miracle to like save ETH currently, like to see an instant rebound, tells me that this is probably going to hit some lower levels. You should never be hoping or praying when it comes to the financial markets. Something's going to take a miracle. Well, you should prepare for that to not happen, basically. So yeah, we're basically looking for lower on ETH and 1,700. Yes, okay, came close on this crash earlier in the week, but at this point, 1,500. It looks like Ethereum has a date with $1,500 in the not so distant future. Again, this would probably line up well with another spike up here on USDT dominance. It would line up with another spike up on Bitcoin dominance, possibly going up to 66%. Maybe it wants 70% all the way up here, but that would probably line up super well with it. That would also line up with the total going down and hitting my lower level, which as you can see is over here at around $2.3 trillion. So those are the majors. Okay, that's ETH, Bitcoin, total 2. Total 3, as you can see, also hit the distal line of this demand zone, okay, key level. And below on the total 3, we got 645 billion. If you see 645 billion and ETH is at 15, Bitcoin's at 72, you buy whatever altcoin you want to buy because that is extreme discount, and we probably see a reversal from there. But it currently, yeah, like I said, I'm essentially preparing for like another cycle, in the sense where we've had a kangaroo market since 2023, right? The market pumps for a few months, total reset of the board, sideways for a few months, pump for a few months, total reset of the board, etc., etc. All right, so I don't necessarily think this current reset of the board is done, okay? Make no mistake, we are in a reset of the board time. It's coming to an end soon. We're near the end, but it doesn't look like it's over per se just yet, before a new like buy program starts back up and we get kind of another bullish type of cycle for a few months. But yeah, 645 billion on the total 3. Mark that one down. That's important. All right. We just spent a lot of time going over these charts. Now let's get into the fun stuff. Let's get into altcoins. Let's get into meme coins. Let's get into the degenerate activities that you guys are asking me about in the live chat. First things first, base memes. So yeah, Coinbase added Dog and Me. Dog and Me pumped 10 million up here to like 70 million. It's at 60 million right now in 3 days. Okay, so this is how crypto always works, and I've repeated this lesson many times, but I'll go ahead and I'll repeat it again. This is how crypto always works, whether it's a meme coin, whether it's something like Litecoin or Bitcoin Cash. It's what always happens. Okay, the asset sells off maybe for years, maybe for months, maybe for weeks. But as you can see here for Dog and Me, right? It made its high over here at 63 million market cap. And then for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, it sold off. And then guess what? In 3 days time, it erased 5 weeks of selling off. Okay, it's like a light switch. It's like the flick of a match just causes a massive explosion. This is how the market works. So a lot of alts right now are in the gutter, right? A lot of them look like Dog and Me before Coinbase talked about their announcement. But I mean, I've just seen it so many times. Literally weeks, months, or even years of bearish price action can be erased in a few days. So pick them well. Pick them well, because if you pick the right one, it will be erased in a few days. Now, another base meme that I am bullish on is Keyboard Cat. Again, it should not be a surprise if you watch my base videos. I talk about like the same like 5 meme coins on base in every video. I don't get paid to talk about them. I don't get a cent to talk about them. If I do, I mention it. For example, right, BetPay has just reached out and they just decided to sponsor some videos. I tell you that. But stuff like Dog and Me, Keyboard Cat, I don't get a damn cent for talking about it. I'm just actually bullish on it. Anyways, okay, so this thing did not get a Coinbase listing announcement, but it looks like people are trying to anticipate Keyboard Cat getting listed on Coinbase. So over here on the 11th of March, again, 11th of March, you remember that? What date was USDT dominance at its highs? The 11th of March. This chart, stablecoin dominance, is the most important chart that you need. Okay, it's more important, it's more relevant than Bitcoin. All right, this will tell you, or it won't tell you exactly, but it gives you the hint on when the bottom is, more than anything else. Of course, we can use multiple charts together, which is what I do. But seriously, guys, if you don't use this chart, you need to start using it. Anyways, again, March 11th, this made its high. Many altcoins, including Keyboard Cat, made its low. This thing bottomed out over here at 12.6 million market cap. It's currently at 40 million. It did make a high of 50 million. Okay, so it went around 4x in 5 days. 4 or 5 days. It went 4x in price from its bottom. And again, this is the daily time frame. This is like what, a month or two of price action, which I don't want that. This is like a month of two or price action. All this selling, this low volume selling, it gets erased in a few days of a pump. So this is just always how it works, which is why, like, yeah, it's why you need to use multiple kind of different charts, different graphs, whatever you want to call them, and just keep focus on the coins you want to accumulate. If you have a list of 20 coins, you're not going to be able to like get them all. But if you have a list of 2, maybe 3 altcoins you want to buy that you know have a lot of good things going for them, you're going to be hyper focused on waiting for those to say hit what you're waiting for, and you're going to be more inclined to pull the trigger rather than focusing on 20 different altcoins you want to buy. You only have like 2 or 3 in your head. You're just going to end up actually executing better. Okay, so anyways, keep that in mind. Now, Keyboard Cat, obviously bullish. I wouldn't FOMO into it now, especially because I just said ETH can go down lower from here. It looks kind of banged up and like it wants to go to like 1,500. So if you do see this, and this also did not get listed on Coinbase, right? This pumped off of anticipation that Coinbase is going to list it next. It might, Coinbase might, but there's no confirmation of that. So listen, if you see this come back down sub 25 million, that's your buy zone for Keyboard Cat. It's greedy. I know it's greedy, but you know, down here like 9-10 million, there's a demand zone. All right, so if you like get caught just waiting for that, you might miss it altogether. But if you do end up seeing it down here below 10, it's an absolute no-brainer, okay? So yeah, bullish on Keyboard Cat. And BetPay, another one, right? BetPay, one of the original memes on Base. As you can see, it was released on the 4th of March. When was KeyCat released? The 26th of March, right? So BetPay was 3 weeks earlier. This is like one of the first 5 memes on the Base chain. But yeah, look at it now. Like, this is how bottoms are kind of formed. We'll see. We'll see. There's a lot of other ones. For example, Ski Mask Dog. I said it would go to 30 million market cap. If you watch the streams, you know that. Where is it? It's at 30 million market cap. Whoa, magic. No. It's not magic. It's just being able to look at the chart and identify where's demand. Where's the important level here? In this case, it was 30 million. Where's the price? 33 million. All right, not too bad. Now I saw this on Twitter or X, so don't take it for gospel. Definitely take it with a grain of salt. But apparently, Coinbase isn't necessarily interested in listing coins like Brett or Ski Mask Dog Ski, because Brett is obviously associated with Crash, and Ski Mask Dog is heavily associated with Brian Jung. Both of these people have significant influence and they carry a lot of weight to make these coins pump. Coins like Dog and Me and Keyboard Cat, they don't have a central figure with hundreds of thousands or millions of followers of people listening to that single person, who's just obviously always bullish on that coin. So yeah, Ski right now kind of being, it's crazy that KeyCat flipped it. But at the same time, when an asset pumps so parabolically like this, you just shouldn't be surprised to see it make the Burj Khalifa pattern complete. Because if you guys have been in crypto, you already know whatever pumps always ends up kind of making a full retrace. That's just the nature of the beast. Look at all the previous cycles. Look at the coins that went 100x. Look at where they ended up in the bear market bottom. They always retrace the entire pump every single time. So yeah, it's not too surprising to see Ski Mask Dog down here, 30 million. And potentially this is definitely a level. But again, I already went over my analysis on the market in general. And with just 49 minutes now until this weekly close, it looks like we got some activity. But again, if this is going to spike back up to 6%, right? If we're going to see Bitcoin 10K lower at 72, maybe we see alts a little bit lower, right? A little bit lower potentially. Again, total 2 did hit my level at 925 billion. Uh, 850 billion coincidentally sticks out like a sore thumb to me. But it's really tough to call this right now. But in general, I do have a bearish outlook. Right? It does look like things are not ready to reverse just yet, in my opinion. I would love to be wrong. I would welcome being wrong. But if you guys are paying attention, I mean, I've been hitting the nail on the head. So I'm just going to keep trusting the analysis that I see, that I have in my head. But yeah, this could go down to potentially 15 to 20 million market cap. Brett cooked. I mean, no reason to buy this coin. Come on, guys. Like if you're one of the people like on Twitter like posting about Brett all the time, like go get your head checked, man. So many better coins to buy, especially currently, than Brett. Yeah, avoid in my opinion. That's kind of a summary on base. Let's take a look at DGen. DGen kind of looks like Beppe in the sense where it's kind of printing like an obvious bottom pattern, and it's in demand. All right, it's completed the Burj, and it's all the way back down here in demand. So we'll see what the whales decide to do. I mean, this is where they accumulate. They accumulate at the bottom. So this is where they'll accumulate for sure. It's just a matter of if they want to go ahead and pump this into another lower high or not. All right, and even if they do pump it to another lower high, that doesn't mean there's not a lot of money to make, because this zone you can still see a 500 to a 600% increase in price to 300 million from here. So yeah, there's money to be made on this coin, and it's in demand. In general, right now, whatever base coin we look at, they're all going to be pretty smashed and battered. Let's take a look at Treble. Treble swap here on the daily time frame. As you can see, it's holding at 38 cents currently. Don't forget, this thing launched at 12 cents. So it's still up over 3x from the launch. I know people will look at this chart and say, oh, look, it pumped and then dumped. Look, this thing launched at like a 260K market cap. and it was just so insanely fair. Some dude came up in my live stream after it launched and was flexing on me how much money he made in it. Crazy stuff. I'm still bullish on Treble Swap. I still think this is the best decentralized exchange on the base network. And if you guys are like a part of the Treble community and you're paying attention to everything that's going on, you know that they're constantly releasing just like new announcement, new features, just staying busy, doing what needs to be done. So yeah, I'm still bullish on Treb. And like many other base memes or base coins in general, it's low volume. The chart looks non-eventful, but as you know what can happen, it doesn't take too much, just a Coinbase listing or a rumor of a Coinbase listing to erase months of bearish price action in like a single week. Here's one example in Dog and Me. So we'll see how it goes. In general right now, Treble might want to go a bit lower to like 25, 20 cents. If ETH crashes and Bitcoin crashes and USDT dominance spikes up, you'll probably see that. But that doesn't mean it's like the coin is bad. That's just the market and market fluctuations. So yeah, still bullish on that. Let's see what's going on here in the chat. FEMA Region 7, he says, plant those crypto seeds. Don't keep digging them up checking for roots. Just know that they are growing. Eventually, in their own time, you will harvest. I like that, FEMA Region 7. Very wise words there. Guys, we got 200 people watching and less than 70 likes. Smash up that like button. Thank you very much. Natty718 says, for those in the sideline-ish, do you recommend waiting to DCA or buy now? I would be, Natty, I would be DCAing now. If you're on the sideline-ish and you have a lot of stables that you'd like to deploy into the market, you know, for example, many altcoins have bounced after the total 2 hit 925 billion, bounced back up. But as a general rule of thumb, when we're hitting zones and extreme like discounts and extreme percentages off the highs, for example, this was 43% on $1 trillion asset, so that's very significant. This is the total 2 chart, right? But yeah, when we're hitting like key liquidity zones after selling off for months, yeah, generally a good idea to dollar cost average, right? Especially at this point. It's not like we're up here, all right? It's not like it's over here in January, right? We've been selling off for weeks at this point, and now we're hitting key liquidity levels. So it's optimal. Timing is very important. Timing is very, very important. So it's optimal. Obviously, though, a dollar cost average is taking the average over a given period of time. But if you can, right, you should try and time it when the sell-off happens. But yes, in general, after months of selling off and hitting like these key liquidity levels, I do think it's just a good time in general to be acquiring whatever coins you want to acquire. Because just look around, right? Going back to sentiment in general, many people are scared to buy. Who's not scared to buy right now? The big boys, right? The big institutions. They're definitely filling their bags down here. And they'll probably continue to fill them lower. But again, we've been selling off for months and we're hitting key liquidity. So yeah, it's a good time. And of course, it's coin specific. You should use the individual levels on the coin you want to buy. But yeah, in general rule of thumb, it's a good time. Jono12, he says, Brett Holder's coping on why Dog and Me was listed and not them is hilarious. Yes, that is hilarious. I agree. It's actually very hilarious. The mental gymnastics and just like, they're so out of touch with reality, right? Because they only listen to Crash. they literally don't realize that they're kind of like in a cult, basically, like where the Crash is their leader, and they're just like, yeah, like they're a bunch of cheerleaders for him. Meanwhile, he just nonstop bull posted on the entire way down. It's crazy stuff, right? The fact that they're just like still cheerleading. I don't know. It's a joke. This market's a joke. Let's see. We got Florent 1980. What's up, Florent? Says, great live as usual. People press the like button. Shout out my man Florence, guys. Listen to Florence and smash. Don't press it. Smash the like button. Thank you. Could you check Ski Mask Dog? Is it cooked? So we already checked Ski Mask Dog. Yeah, I mean, it's in my zone, right? It's in that 30 million zone. There is a level lower, like 20, 25 to 15. You would be kind of knife catching, to be honest with you right now. I feel like you'd be knife catching buying it. But there's obviously a scenario where I'm wrong and it's not, and just going off of demand, buying in demand is good. But yeah, I mean, I do have my eyes on this level from like 25 to 15 million market cap. Generally speaking, I would be more inclined to buy something like Keyboard Cat than Ski Mask Dog right now. But yeah, it looks like it wants to come a little bit lower, Florent. Let's see. Sayer Brown, he says, thoughts on Atlantis IDO. So thoughts on Atlantis. So guys, I went to Ethereum Denver. It was like 2 weeks ago now, 2.5 weeks ago now. And I met the co-founder of Monad. I interviewed the head of DeFi at Monad. I'll post that video to the channel probably tomorrow. But yeah, I learned quite a bit about this. I mean, I kind of already knew most of this stuff. And by the way, the interview, right, the guy works, he's on salary for Monad. So he couldn't really tell us anything like exciting, right? It was very corporate. That's why I hate the corporate world, right? There's too many like bullshit rules. But anyways, yeah, it's still a good interview. You'll learn some stuff. But just a heads up, the guy is on salary for Monad and he's like told what to say and stuff. So take it with a grain of salt. But anyways, right now, the Monad testnet is live. And as you can see here, Atlantis over here, first V4 Dex. So I'm pretty bullish on Atlantis, to be quite honest with you. I think it's going to crush. There's some other ones, but bro, I don't think you can compare the two together, right? There's, where is it? This one, Kuru. Man. So this is like, this has the backing of the Monad Foundation, I'd say. I still just, I think Atlantis is going to execute so much better personally. So yeah, I'm really not interested in Kuru. I'm way more interested in Atlantis when it comes to Monad dexes. Right now you can test it out. You can test it out. Let's see. Do I have my Phantom wallet open? Ooh, I do. I do have my Phantom wallet open. As you can see. Can you guys see that? I think you should be able to see that. But I got myself on the testnet 0.095 Monad tokens. So let's see. How much does it cost for one ATL? 0.05. It's pretty nuts because when you use the faucet here, I got an airdrop video coming out for Monad, by the way, too. So I'll show you how to do all of this in the airdrop video. But when you use this faucet for the testnet tokens, it fails half the time. It says you can get tokens half of the time. And then when it does work, every 12 hours you can send a request. When it does work, they send you 0.05 tokens. So it's, I mean, they're not really making it too easy per se to acquire these tokens. But yeah, this is Atlantis, showing you how to use it live, right? We just bought one ATL token. But yeah, I'm very bullish on this. I'm waiting for them to announce their IDO. I believe there is a lot going on right now, but yeah, my private community is for sure interested in this one without a doubt. You probably are in it if you're asking that question, but yeah, looking forward to that. Shafia Ahmad, do you follow Trueflation? No, I don't. Don't follow Trueflation. All right, we got a good question here from Perry.80. Perry.80 says, what would you do with ETH bags? Sell to rebuy lower? Or too risky to miss out on a sudden rally? My average price is 2,400. So if you're underwater right now on your ETH bag, as a general rule of thumb, I think a wise saying is do no harm to your portfolio. What does that mean? What does do no harm to your portfolio mean? It means you can really harm your portfolio when you start making impulse decisions when you're at a loss. For example, selling ETH to try and buy it back lower. That can cause massive harm to your portfolio for the exact reason, like you said. You can miss out on a sudden rally. Or maybe you don't even miss out on a sudden rally. But let's say you're waiting for like, I don't know, $1,500. And you put limit orders in the exchange at $1,500. And it ends up going to like $1,600. And then in an hour, it's all the way back up at $2,300 because there was a mega pump after it hit that level. Well, now what? Now you're screwed. Okay, so again, a general rule of thumb, do no harm to your portfolio, especially times like this. I never recommend to try and sell and buy and back lower because that can really mess you up, even more messed up than you currently are. Yeah, you're down, what, like 30% or something? Let's see, 2,300. You're down 18%. Well, what happens if you screw up trying to sell and buy back lower, and then you're forced to buy everything again at 2,300 with even less money because you sold the lows? So no, I never recommend to sell and buy back lower. In my opinion, that's total pussy behavior. That's really the only way to describe it. Okay, some people might be like, no, it's actually smart. If you execute it well, yes, it is smart. But most people, right, even the most experienced, seasoned traders and investors, trying to sell and buy back lower, nobody will get it right perfectly every single time. And there will be a time where you'll be forced to buy back higher with less capital than you had. So I just don't necessarily recommend doing that. Let's see what's happening. All right, Bitcoin's still at 82. Weekly close is now in 30 minutes. We will see how we go here. Let's see. Epstein Tarantino. He says, keep hearing good things about Sonic. Do you have any thoughts on Sonic? So yeah, Phantom is now known as Sonic. I do know. I remember distinctly. I mentioned like the market's been the same since 2023 for a while. The reason I say 2023 is for some reason I just remember distinctly. If you guys remember like my old office from like 2 years ago, it had like the textured wall. I remember sitting in that office like in late December, January, like New Year's 2022 to 2023. And Sonic, or it was Phantom at that time, was like at 25 cents. I think it bottomed out at like 15 cents. And it ended up running to, I believe, over $1. But I just remember distinctly how much time it spent at 25 cents. Is this at 49? What the heck is going on? I'm pretty sure I just checked this and what the heck? Why is it showing 49 cents here? Is this different? And 24 cents here. Okay, I was looking at the wrong Sonic at 25 cents. There's two Sonics apparently. What's this other one? That threw me off. Sonic EVM. Some Solana coin. The crypto market's a joke, dude. Why do they have to change the name to Phantom? Now there's 10 Sonics. Anyways, all right, it's at 49 cents. So that whole thing about 25 cents, forget I even mentioned it. Forget everything about that. It's irrelevant. Anyways, yeah, it is. It's a layer one that kind of does well in bull cycles. It definitely gets pushed by like big figures. Like for example, Ansem is like bullish on Sonic, right? I doubt he's naturally bullish on it. Probably got a fat bag, but you know, could certainly do well. Not something I'm interested in though. Jonathan Bush, look at Tau. Yeah, dude, there's so many coins. We haven't even looked at Tau. All right, so for Tau, I've been posting my analysis on Tau in the Mastermind, staying up to date on it. Essentially, yeah, 200 to 220, we saw it bounce a ton, and lower liquidity is lower. So what happened? Well, on this sell-off, we hit a low of 212. Again, 200 to 220 was the level I had given well ahead of time. And it did put in a pretty solid bounce. Back up to 270. Now it's at 240. Yeah, so here was the day it hit 220. I basically said I'm expecting a solid bounce, but I'm not expecting this level to hold. All right, and that's at the 220 level. Let's go back to MEXC. Here we go. So basically, if we don't see 220 hold, I would be prepared for this scenario of a flash. It would be a flash wick. It would be very quick down here to 140. Now, I would personally, like, I'm a buyer of Tau. I feel comfortable buying at 200. I feel good buying at 180. I feel good buying at 160. I feel good buying at 140, right? This is one of those coins where for some reason, I have more of a risk appetite for Tau than many other altcoins, personally speaking. Now, whether or not it makes its way down to 140, that doesn't mean you should say be scared to buy it at 160 or 180 or even 200, right? We will get another AI boom. We will see AI coins boom again. Tau is probably going to be one of those coins. So it would be optimal to see it at 140. I would be looking at the lows at 160. Those are important lows. But yeah, that's how I'm seeing Tau. Again, in order to flip bullish, I would need to see $395 reclaimed on the daily time frame. It doesn't look like it wants to reclaim $395. It just doesn't look like that wants to happen. This was not the optimal reversal zone for Tau, right? So it's similar to Bitcoin right now where it didn't hit its key level. In my opinion, the key level is like down here at 140 for Tau. So if we do see this spike up to 6% and you see Tau at 140, can't tell you what you should do, but to me, that's a buy. Same thing with INJ. INJ actually did hit the level. Here we are. Again, all these were shared ahead of time inside of the masterminds. Let's see here. I said INJ $8.81. Well, what happened? Where did INJ go to? Okay, it went a little bit lower. It went to $8.14, but still, right? Like a nice bounce right at the level. This is why you need to trust yourself, especially if you know how to find these levels on your own. You need to just trust your analysis. But anyways, yeah, great trade here for INJ. Worked out well. So many examples we can go through of hitting key levels. Aptos didn't hit it, right? In my opinion, I would be waiting for the low 4s or high 3s on Aptos. Let's see, Billy Bunty, he says, hi, been watching you for a while. Great alpha, mate. Well done. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Oh, sorry, Bob's my uncle, my man. With the super chat. I did miss it, Bob, but we see it now. And thank you for the super chat, Bob. You said, missed you, bro. What do you make of Plume? What do I make of Plume? All right, we got a new coin here. So, Bob, as always, I'll be straight. I really haven't looked into this. It looks like it's, what, 3 months old. It released in January. My reaction is based off of this. RWA Phi. They made that up. It looks like a big VC project, just the website itself. What do I make of Plume? Let's look at the chart, because honestly, I could give a rat's ass on what the project does. Let's see what the chart says. All right. Interesting chart. So, we got our discount, we got our premium. We're technically in the premium right now, right? We're up here above the 50% of this range. What I would be looking for is, I would be waiting for the discount. If I was gonna buy this thing, right? Yeah, you could dollar cost average into it up here. You could, but I mean, I personally would want it at least. I'd want it at least in the golden pocket. As you can see, it has come into our golden pocket twice. And it's seen a very positive reaction both times from that. We can put a little text there. Golden pocket. I would want it at least over here at 12 cents and preferably below, closer to 10 for Plume. It's a new coin. Again, we're kind of, like I said earlier in the stream, the mindset right now that I have is like, I'm recharging my batteries and I'm gearing up for another market cycle, another buy program to initiate. And I think it's already starting to initiate, the fact that we've hit so many key levels on altcoins, on USDT dominance, things like that, right? All right, so basically I'm gearing up for another buy program and another bit of a bullish cycle for a few months, kangaroo market. So being that this is a new coin, it's got this, it looks like, you guys know TAI, it looks like this one. By the way, you guys want the truth? You guys want the truth or what? Look, this is this is just like such a bullshit scam project, TAI. Anyone who talks, maybe not everyone, but if you see somebody making a video about TAI, they probably didn't say it, but they got paid for that, okay? I'm ruining my own deal right now by saying this. Maybe they're watching this. They've been reaching out to me for like months. They want a video. They're going to pay me thousands of bucks for a video on this. All right. All the schmucks that talk about this bullshit scam AI coin and don't mention they're getting paid for it, they're lying through their teeth to you so that they can get their little paycheck of like a few $1,000. Absolute schmuck cuck behavior. You know who it is. There's many of them actually, but anyways, I digress. Back to Plume. Yeah, like the amount of schmucks that are making content nowadays is just absolutely insane. They'll do anything for a little check, a little crumb of money. But hey, that's the world we live in. Yeah, Bob, hope that answers your super chat, brother. Thank you for your support. All right, guys, on that note, we are going to go ahead and wrap up our live stream. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, a little Sunday live stream. We do have the daily close in, and the weekly close in 19 minutes from right now. And as it stands right now on the weekly, we are green. Okay, we're holding 80K on the weekly, but key liquidity has not been taken at $72,000 yet. Personally, I would be looking out for 72K. If we pump, and if we pump up here, first of all, big resistance at 87. But even if we break that and we get up here into the 90s again, until this previous swing high is closed above on the daily, there's zero reason to get bullish. All right. So remember that if we end up going up here and everyone's calling for like new all-time highs and stuff, but if we reject off of this, then we're like a really strong chance we'll go to 70 from there. But that's how I'm looking at things currently. Overall, right, I would be watching USDT dominance as well. If this spikes up towards 6% again, that will be a very crazy buying opportunity, and that will likely mark a top. If it does end up closing back beneath the previous swing high at 5.51%, of course, that needs to happen as well. Be looking out for the lower level on the total, 2.4 trill. Total 2 down here, key level at kind of 850 over here. Total 3 as a key level at 650. So we spent a lot of time going over these today, lads. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found this analysis helpful. Smash up the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel. I appreciate you all. Thank you all for being here. And hold up, let me switch the camera. And I'll see you all very soon. We're going to ramp up and start pumping out videos again here. So, yeah, batteries are recharged, and it's time to go. It's time to go. See you at the top. Connor from Crypto Empire signing out. Have a good night.